Hello, everyone, and welcome back. My name is Brian. This is Football Manager 22, and we are here in Salisbury, in the middle of League One. Looking here at the club vision screen, you can see they have an A-plus performance for me, despite a little bit of red, because mostly their only goal for me in terms of EFL performance in League One is to not get relegated, and we're definitely not doing that. We are doing all right in our cup competitions, except the FA Cup. Yeah, so let's go pick it up at that FA Cup game. Things have been going pretty well to that point. Lots of green on the schedule, and then we have this game against Barnet. Vanarama National League, Vanarama North National League, fourth in it. So not a terrible team, but not a good team. And we heavily rotated for the game, and, well, we got punished for it. 0-1 loss. Basically, if we want to lose a game, we just put Lucas Bergstrom in goal, and they will find a winning goal. And, well, the rest of our team will just kind of flounder. We followed up with a win to Wycombe. Draw against Peterborough is fine. Win over Wycombe. We should just play Wycombe all the time. We lost to Carlisle, who is in 18th place, so that didn't feel great. Draw with Oxford in 14th place. Fine, but not good, especially at home. We made up for it by killing Newport. And the loss to Burton's fine. They're a top 3 team, and we punished Accrington for it. The loss for Peterborough, it's not ideal, but fine. And wins over Colchester and Birmingham. Then, a 1-2 loss to Exeter. They're in 22nd. I think that's the one where, I'd love to show you the XG chart, Come on. You can do it. Generate the match report. They had a really good attempt. They scored, and we just completely floundered despite posting better XG, and they scored something goofy, And we just had game after game like that. So that was the loss to Exeter. Then we had a draw with the MK Dons. Their 35th minute penalty made that possible. Beat Stevenage in the EFL Trophy tournament. A draw to Carlisle. Again, Carlisle's bottom of the table. The win over Crewe's good, but then a draw to Rochdale, who is also 23rd. We couldn't score against them at home. Again, it's kind of baffling. Draw with Coventry. Coventry's not 13th. That's fine. Lost to Colchester in the EFL Trophy quarterfinals because we put Lucas Bergstrom in goal, which meant we were going to give up goals, and, well, we did and lost. But, that was fine. Just get it off the schedule. And then we drew Bradford City. Again, no goals. Bradford City, 20th. So we took what was a first-place position and have dropped to roughly 3rd, 4th, depending on, the game in hand situation. It's just, it's been irritating. The team is, I don't know, half a team. Ross Jones, our loanee striker, is amazing, and we're scoring on set pieces, but no one else is really scoring. Occasionally Kamari Doyle out of the midfield, but that's it. And just certain pieces of the teams are just terrible. And so we have this big closing kick here, remaining 13 games. Lots of tough teams. Portsmouth's in 2nd, Lincoln's in 6th, Rotherham's in 10th, Sunderland's in 9th, Burton's in 1st. That's all this next month. Eases off slightly after that, Forest Green 19th, but Mansfield's in 3rd, Huddersfield's 15th, and Wimbledon's 5th. We face a ton of the top 10 teams. Oxford's 14th, Crewe 16th, Wycombe's 8th, and Colchester's 21st to end the year. So we will see how we do. I think we stand a great chance of at least being in the promotion playoff, but it'll be a real dogfight to try and grab one of the two automatic spots. So, as the schedule indicated, we are up for that match against Portsmouth. Part of it might be that against the worst teams, hilariously, that they would go and bunker against us and play heavy counterattacking soccer, and they just need to get one over the top against us. While teams in the middle tier maybe will play us fairer, essentially. They'll try and dominate possession like we want to, and we'll be able to actually beat them to the punch. Yeah, so I was complimenting Ross Jones. He has 33 goals over 30 certs and 3 substitutions. He's been immense. Love the kid. But that means a huge amount of people on the rest of the team aren't scoring. The center backs have really good ratings, Cummings and Brian Waugh, but there's too many times they miss a header, the ball's behind him, and suddenly they're one-on-one with Sinisalo, and he just doesn't know what to do. So it's been an irritating last couple of months, and that's part of the reason why I might be a day or two behind what I quote-unquote should be in the schedule in my mind. Doyle plays it off to Jones after it looks like we kind of flopped for the foul there on the end line. The opponents are in a 4-2-3-1. Again, that's fine by me. I'm happy to see that formation. We are in a similar formation with a slightly more defensive back bent, obviously. Basically the swap of a attacking midfielder to defensive. Doyle coming through off a pass from Jones, off the goalkeeper. Out the back, we'll take the corner. Brian Waugh already has a yellow card here within the first 7 minutes. Not ideal. We'll have to see if we're going to take him off. Doyle plays it long, off the post by Jones. It's a cluster there. Crook plays it back to Doyle, out to Brian Waugh. Doesn't look to shoot. I would have expected a shot there. McLean doesn't really do anything effective with it. Looks like Doyle taking another free one. Plays it along to Jones, who plays it over the top. I have signed Ingolfsson to a new contract. He was expiring. We have 4 or 5 more expiring players, as well as 3 players, I believe, who are technically under pay for appearance. We still haven't cut away. I don't know if we'll be bringing any of those 4 players back. They're all relatively low on the depth chart. Plays it forward to Jones. Jones got the step. 33rd goal of the season. Ross Jones. He's going to win League One Player of the Year unless he, knock on wood, breaks his leg or something. Good stuff. I did bring in, so to try and fill the gaps that I thought the team had based on these series of draws, I did bring in 2 more loanees. Luckily, Brian Waugh got his foot on it to impede, and then Sinisalo tipped it over the top. Not a terribly threatening kick or header. So we have a new center back in the rotation because, again, I didn't think the guys behind Cumming and Brian Waugh were doing terribly great. And a new left inside forward because Thompson, who's got a 7.1 today, but Thompson's rating has been bad all year. He's probably the lowest of all starting players. I thought, based on his star rating, based on his attributes, I thought coming up from Geisley, even though it's a step up of 2 tiers, I thought, no, this guy's be able to handle it as a sub, as a rotational player. Has not lived up to it at all. Not quite sure exactly what the problem is. Raggett, you fool. He easily could have just kept playing the ball and dispossessed Jones, but instead just kind of clumsily stuck his foot in for Jones to trip over and bail us out by picking up a yellow card and giving us the dead ball that we didn't get to see. So must not have done much with it. Wilson dispossesses, goes up to Jones, but Jones, horrific pass right back to them. Looks like the other keeper's going to bomb it forward. Brian Waugh just heads it back to Sinisalo. Generally, now we will try and play it out at the back with a series of short passes, just like that. Textbook. Thompson plays across to Crook, too far, and they will have it the other way. Goalkeeper bombs it out. 2-on-1, see, and Cumming just misses it. Now, in this case, it looks like he's selling he got slapped in the face by Curtis. Oh. They're saying not just an incidental slap, a purposeful elbow to the big man. 6'8" Richard Cumming. Well, that'll put him at a significant disadvantage. Boyle has played to Doyle, who's, I believe, the second leading scorer on the team and the leading assist man. He's been a good hire to play in the center midfield. Right now, they're just not playing with a right winger. We'll see if they adjust to balance their formation at all. Perhaps, abandon the attacking center mid for a right winger to create symmetry, or if they're happy playing asymmetrical. They bomb the cross across. Doesn't do anything. We play forward. Jones. Ingelsson grabs it. Thompson was cutting in on it. Ingelson's going to pivot out, look for Fradley, plays it into McLean. Fradley plays it out to Ingelsson, plays it up to Thompson. Trickler gets past the goalie and bounces off the post and out, and we didn't have anyone attacking it. Probably because it was so slow and no one could imagine that the goalie wouldn't just save that in the first place. One of the wingers, I think, gets in there and cuts in front of the ball and takes it off the back. Doyle gets in, cuts out the ball, plays it up to Jones. Jones will look what to do as he dribbles it, plays it up to Crook, to Doyle. Doyle plays it forward to Thompson, cutting forward, got a space, got the man. Can't finish. Didn't even manage to get it off the goalkeeper's hands and get us another corner. Only on 3 corners. I'd like more corners. Cumming only has 2, maybe 3 goals on the year. I'd hoped for more from the 6'8" big man. His heading stat isn't very good, and I haven't directed the taker to try and aim at the near post all the time, because when I'd been doing that previously, chip forward to Jones, got a step off the goalkeeper's hands. We'll take the corner. When I've directed them to that, I don't know, it'd become too predictable, and other teams were guarding it well. But it seems like they just play it long to Jones, and he's not terribly great at doing anything with it. So perhaps I should just go, hey, try to play a near post to my pair of center backs, including the 6'8" giant. Even if he isn't terribly great at heading, he's adequate. Brenois up to Ingelsson up to Jones. Jones plays up to Doyle. Doyle see who's coming. Fradley's playing out on the left wing. The fullback attacking up. Back to Ingelsson. The Mazzala takes the shot. Slow. Trickler. Nothing terribly threatening. Well, looks like we got another set piece there. Plays to Ingelsson. McLean. Back to Cumming. It's Brenois. Probably play outside to Fradley. Yep. Fradley should just attack. Brought it inside in like that. He's just got end line, I think. Beautiful pass. Ross Jones, Kamari Doyle, the 2 scoring studs of the team. Good stuff. Maybe you should watch all of our matches if they're going to go this well after a sea of despondent and boring 0-0 and 1-1 draws. Good work, guys. So I don't know if they're have had themselves set to get stuck in, because both their center backs have yellow cards as well. Fradley cuts it in, plays it up to Thompson. Thompson will take it outside, making an instant head forward, chips it off the defender. Let's take the corner. Doyle fires a near post. Brian Waugh fires it over the net. This is... sorry for bumping the mic if it made undue noise. Doyle play the corner short to Cumming. Just over the net. We will take their recommendation and take off McLean for Heisman. My 2 new players that I've brought in are Radu Ungarenu from Fulham as a left winger. really good physical stats, decent mental stats. Not the finishing I'd like from inside forward. He's more of an inverted winger, as they say, with his 14 crossing. But adequate passing at 10. His heading's good, which, lots of heading goals. Decent technique. Would like to see his dribbling a little higher, but he's 19 and he's relatively cheap. And then Roman Lukic from Nottingham Forest, again, 6'6", a little more pace and acceleration than the current guys. I think they're both at 11 pace. Pretty good mentals and adequate technicals, marking, passing, tackling, heading, first touch, all 10 and above. So they are now key parts of the rotation. About the only short bit is we're still kind of sort of only working with a 4-man rotation between the 3 center midfield spots, but Thompson can play center mid, so can Jones from the attacking spots, and a couple of the center backs can also play defensive midfielder. So again, we've been relatively injury free, and those rotations have let us cover when usually we want a 5th center midfielder. Lots of just kind of playing with it until eventually Ingolfsson got bored and lasered it into the crowd. Still take it. Plays it back post for Jones. I think it went off the goalkeeper's hands there. Let's take another one. They're free today. To Cumming, and unfortunately, just can't get it down. Doesn't have the neck strength. Crook heads it up to Doyle. Doyle pulls it forward to Ingolfsson. Ingolfsson blasts it into the crowd. But hey, the ref had been playing advantage apparently. You can't see me, but I'm doing the throw my arms out in front of me playing advantage sign. And Ingolfsson will take the free kick and doesn't bomb it over the top. But hey, at least forces the opposing goalkeeper to save it and gives us yet another opportunity to fail at a corner. And to Ingolfsson, and goes nowhere in particular. Thinks we should take Ingolfsson out. That is fair enough. One of the things about Lukic is he is technically qualified to play center mid, so again, more positional flexibility there. I will go ahead and bring him in on the defense side of things, and then we will actually push Thompson back to center mid, and let's go ahead and bring in Radu. Try and get his fitness up to standard, because he's been he hadn't been playing for Nottingham Forest for much of the year, so hadn't been in great condition, and was a bit and is a bit creaky. So getting him a sub performance here hopefully will let me use him later in the year. Radu, without having to work out all the kinks, because this is obviously 2-0 man up. Great position to bring on some lesser used players, though we didn't really do that, but in his case. And as you can see, it's one of the danger zones for us. Luckily, despite the fact that Sinisalo couldn't keep hold of the ball, they didn't have enough pressure to punish us, and Sinisalo was able to rally back to position while the defender kept on the ball. Outbreaking corner, Brian Waugh booms it away. Jones will take it on his foot. Jones will get tripped by a Kersey. There'll be another yellow card. They are very good at picking up those cards. If that was the name of the game, they would be winning. Sadly, it is not. Thompson just kicks it off the defender's chins. Luckily, it came back to us, but not great. Bombs for Bradley into Radu, cutting Jones, turns, pivots, looks for Radu, bombs it over the net. Like, we are terrible at converting those. We have a ton of them and never seem to convert them because it's not Jones or Doyle taking the shot. Crook off the post. See, it's a miracle. Yeah, we've got a 2 lead and Crook's on a 6.8. Womp. They bomb it forward, and luckily Brinois stays enough in Ferry's way that all you can do is kick it over the top of the net. So yeah, this will do a decent job of helping our position, especially since it's against the number 2 team in the division. Jones maybe selling it, but hey, the ref is buying it today. He's saying, be gentle with one another. And Portsmouth hasn't picked up on that. 35th of the year for Ross Jones. He's good. I kind of wish when they were showing replays of penalties that they would show the foul that instigated the penalty and not the penalty itself most of the time, or at least include that, because usually that's more important, more interesting to me than the penalty itself. Brinois heads it to Fradley, up to Ungaranu. He'll dribble it up and bomb it forward to Jones. They'll keep our take instead and probably will work out the clock. Yep. Just nothing more to say there. Just exactly what we're kind of looking for. Good passing, creating opportunities. It helps when you're playing against 10 men, admittedly. Ross Jones is a superstar. Great work. And let's see how that takes us into the league table. All right, that moves us up to second. It looks like everyone's square on 34 games, so 12 to play, and we are 1 point ahead of first and 1 point back of third, and 1 point back of first, 1 point ahead of third, and 2 points ahead of fourth. So it'll be a real race there between first and fourth. A little space between fifth, and then back into the morass of sixth through, well, basically everywhere. It's a bit messy. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. We will be back with yeah, 8 games in a row without losing. Just a sea of draws, though. Thank you so much for joining me. I will be back with a game or possibly games, depending how the league shakes out and how things go. If there are going to be multiple make or break games to record and share with you. Either way, it's been good talking with you. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we'll see you again soon.